And now, a few moments with Dave Shugarts, author of Secrets of the Widow's Son, and contributor to the upcoming book,
Secrets of the Lost Symbol.
Hi, I'm Dave Shugarts, author of Secrets of the Widow's Son and a contributor to the upcoming book, Secrets of the Lost Symbol. This is Hunch number 5 as we come down to the release date of Dan Brown's new novel, The Lost Symbol. As always, this is just a hunch, a guess, not a prediction, and it's based on my own research as well as clues that have been spread around by Dan Brown's publishers. We are on the eve of the release, and the prologue and chapter 1 of The Lost Symbol have been published in Parade magazine, so this will be the last of my hunches. Here I want to talk about music for a second time, but this time I want to point to the fact that music is code. Music is not only an expression of the heartbeat and deepest emotions of the human spirit, but also it is a system of symbols and tones in a sequence, and you can embed hidden meaning within such a stream. This is no surprise to any musician or composer, and it has been this way throughout the history of music. For that reason, this time I have a hunch that is really just the ultimate in wishful thinking on my part, that Dan Brown could include coded music in The Lost Symbol. In fact, you could call this a hunch too far, but that's the fun of having hunches. There are so many methods of coding information into an audio signal that it can boggle the mind. Everyone has heard of the notions of playing Beatles records backwards or finding satanic content in certain heavy metal music. With high-resolution audio, you can, of course, put information into signals outside the range of human hearing. Lots of people have thought of embedding little bits of Morse code, for instance, into a musical piece. Here's an example of that. But even in ancient times, it was clear that you could create in music a system of encoding information such that a composer and a knowledgeable listener can communicate perfectly well. If you really want a simple example, think of the talking drums of the Tarzan movies. That technique may be older than history itself. Other ancients used similar ideas with bells or horns. But later, sophisticated composers like Bach and Mozart wrote coded things into their music, sometimes playfully and sometimes with meaning. Edwin Elgar, the English composer, in 1897 wrote a little coded note to a lady friend, the Dorabella cipher, which has never been solved. Elgar is famous for a piece of music called Enigma Variations. Enigma is a name that's very, very familiar to code people. In looking around for this kind of thing, I just kept coming across more and more examples. In the 18th century, there was a somewhat eccentric British military man, Philip Thickness, who devised a simple substitution code for music and published a little book on it in 1772. I was thrilled to actually hold that 200-year-old book in my hands, so I made a little video about it, which I will post separately. Robert Schumann, the German composer, went hog wild for ciphers and codes and used them in practically all of his communications as well as his music. He genuinely tried to use ciphers to reflect the mystical and the mythical, as well as his love for his girlfriend, Clara, who later became his wife. I think the pinnacle of coded music is the elegant system invented by François Sudre, a Frenchman. The system is known as Sol Re Sol. This beautifully ties together musical notes, colors, and even hand signs. You don't really need to study it too hard if you realize it's that code that they were using to talk with the aliens in the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And then there's the fact that after Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code came out, focusing attention on Rosslyn Chapel, there emerged a theory that the ornate stone carvings in the roof of the chapel are really just encoded music. and in the 5 years since then we have heard of other examples of art and architecture now being seen to contain music codes. And all of this is hidden in plain sight, as Dan Brown would say. Will Dan Brown use coded music? I don't know, and I don't have any evidence that he will. It's just a hunch or a wish of mine. Thanks for listening. Check back regularly for updates from Dave Shugarts as we approach the release date of Dan Brown's new novel, The Lost Symbol. And look for
Secrets of the Lost Symbol.
coming soon from HarperCollins.